Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of what is basically my life as I know it. So currently I'm residing in Burma, I'm working here. Burma, or otherwise known as Myanmar. I've been here for about the last 9 months roughly, and it's had its ups and downs. It could be worse, it could be better. But it's not a bad place and it's not as bad as the media or people make it out to be. So today I just want to give you guys a bit of an insight into what it's like to live here. Firstly, as you guys may know, I am a Muslim, alhamdulillah, and I'm proud. I'm not proud in an arrogant way, but just happy to be what I am. And a lot of people think that being in Myanmar is quite dangerous for a Muslim. I mean, there are conflicts going on, that's no word of a lie. But I live in the capital, and I must say that living here, it's actually quite practical as a Muslim. I mean, there are mosques everywhere, there is halal food everywhere, it's not hard to find at all. I mean, for dietary requirements, here is perfect for me. So for that, there's been no problem. Discrimination wise, I've not felt anything. I know there is, behind closed doors, there is discrimination against Muslims. I can't, I won't deny that. But personally, I mean, as a foreigner, I've had no discrimination against me. People have treated me well. All my students at the school I work, they know of my religion, and they've been very open to me and very receptive. They've treated me with nothing but respect, to be honest. So for that, you have nothing to worry about. If you're a religious minority of any kind, Myanmar respects all. To be honest, I mean, I felt nothing but love. Next, let me talk about the cost of living. It's a bit of a weird one because here in Yangon, the cost of renting is actually quite high, especially compared to the neighboring countries in Asia. I mean, for the room I'm staying at the moment, as you can see, it's just a single bedroom, single bed, quite spacious. I've got AC, everything like that. I'm paying about 300 US dollars a month, which that's quite expensive. I mean, even in European countries, you can find a room for that. But I'm getting paid quite well, and thankfully, my company and most companies, when you work as an expat here, most companies will subsidize your housing. So I am actually being subsidized to live here. I'm not paying it from my own salary. But in all honesty, yeah, renting is expensive. But if you are to work here for a company and you're getting paid as an expat, they will subsidize that. For hotels, on average, they are a little bit more expensive than in the rest of Asia. I mean, you'll pay for a hostel, like dormitory, you're going to pay between about $7 to $10. And for a single double room like that, you're looking between about $20 to $30 a night. So it is a little bit expensive, but on the flip side, food is insanely cheap, and transportation is also insanely cheap compared to the other neighboring countries. You can get a bus to practically anywhere in the city for it's like 200 chats, and the chat is roughly, if I'm to go by pound sterling, it's more or less about, I'm going to just go with a rate of 2,000 to £1. So roughly, you take a bus for 200 chats, that's like 10 pence. That's nothing. That's almost free. And the buses in the last few years have got a lot better. Like, they've had loads imported from Korea, and they're decent buses, and they do stop where they're meant to, not like in the past where they were just random and went anywhere they liked. So the public transport has got a hell of a lot better now. It's really easy to take a bus. And as for taxis, you can go from practically anywhere in the city to downtown. It'll cost you like a few pounds, like £2, like 4,000 chats will take you practically anywhere in Yangon. So for that, you've got nothing to worry about. And shopping is a really good deal here as well, like clothes, shoes. If you're interested in jewelry, like here basically produces jade, so that's a great thing. And okay, now talking about traveling around the country, like to, like to the famous spots. I mean, most tourists when they come here, they have to go to Bagan. I've not actually been myself, but I know many people that have, and I used to work near Bagan. I don't know why I never went. It was just not in my way. But getting around the country, you can take buses all over, and the network's very good. You can get from here to Mandalay, which is about an 8-hour journey, and it'll probably cost you no more than about £15. And £15 would be for like a VIP seat where it's literally 2 seats and 1 seat, and those seats are big and they're comfy. You know, you could literally curl up and fall asleep in one of those seats. I'm a big guy, and I can comfortably sleep in one of those seats, so for that you got nothing to worry about. To other parts, you can go to Bagan, you can go maybe down to like Pa'an or other cities. I mean, Myanmar's well connected. So traveling around the country, you've got no problems. So who are the Burmese people or Myanmar people? Well, there's no easy answer to that. I mean, they are literally mixed as hell. I mean, you've got Chinese, Indians, you've got like descendants of Malays, you've got the Burmese themselves. Then each state in Myanmar has its own ethnicity and its own local language. So for Myanmar, as people don't know the country that well, it's been closed for God knows how many years. People don't really know how diverse the society in Myanmar really is. You know, in Yangon itself and in a lot of places, you could eat Chinese, Indian, Burmese food, Thai food. It's all just on your doorstep. It's a very diverse country, as opposed to you get like a place like Thailand or even China, where it's just very homogenous. It's just monoculture. It's just they only speak Chinese, they only speak Thai, and they only eat their local foods. But here you can find practically everything. It's very diverse, and you know there is no one person you can say he's Myanmar, he's not. You know, everyone looks different here. It's quite amazing to see. Just before I end, I just want to give a few like sort of hints on some downsides. Well, not really downsides, but just challenges of being here. One, it's a lot of people don't speak English, and the Myanmar language is very hard to learn and understand. It's not that easy at all. And it's also a little bit hard in respect to the fact that the former dictatorship limited education for a lot of people, so people are still catching up. You know, there are a lot of very talented people in this country, very amazing people, but you will meet a lot of people that just don't have it up here. You know, they haven't been given that education to be able to critically think. So you'll find a lot of things frustrating here, like trying to get things done. It may take a lot longer than other places. Also, you know, there's other things that just seem a bit frustrating, but, you know, if you can look past that, you'll do fine and you'll really enjoy the place. One thing I gotta say, people are very honest here for the most part, and they're very warm and welcoming. Even if they can't speak to you, they'll still, you know, treat you nicely. So there's that. And just for an end, a couple of surprising things about this place. You'll notice on the roads that cars all have their steering wheels on the British side, but they all drive on the American side, which is really weird. So basically all the drivers are sat on the outside of the road as opposed to in the middle, which seems a bit weird at first, but when you've been here for so long, you just get used to it. But they are starting to bring a lot more cars in from places where they do have left-hand drives. So it's kind of getting a bit more normal, even though now you'll see as many right-hand drive cars as you do left-hand drives. But I think that's kind of the charm of living here in a way. And also in Yangon, there are literally no motorbikes. The only motorbikes are driven by the police, and that's it. That's not an accident. That's law. They don't allow motorcycles in Yangon City itself, which it has its pros and cons. I mean, it's a lot less crowded, but it's a pain in the rear end for getting around anywhere because you've got to rely on public transport or taxis, because unless you could afford your own car or to lease a car. So, you know, there is that as well. Anyway, for now I'm going to wrap up, so if you have any questions, leave them on the comments below and I will try to answer as many as I can. So take care for now, see you later.